Hi, Itzy here again for another episode of How to Save Money. So these are some things that I do. This container, after I bought and ate my tomatoes, I saved this to use this to grow microgreens, and I'll show you that in a minute. So that's that. This Ziploc bag box has lasted me for, we moved in here about 8 years ago. I think this is still the same one because I reuse them. I know it sounds kind of gross, but I'm pretty much vegan and we don't eat any meat in this house. So I'm not real worried about, usually what goes in them is fruit and things like that. So I usually reuse them. This is a brand new one that's left over. But this was since the beginning when we first moved here. This is the last one of a bag of maybe 25. I'm not sure. So I reuse these pretty often. I wash them out, and here's what I do. I take them, and after they're rinsed out, I just put them there and let them dry. And then puff them up. Sometimes I turn them inside out, the big ones. But I don't even use them that much. It's not a real good idea to use plastic so much, really. Now this is my stove, but I don't really use it as a stove very much. This is my cutting board for my herbs and things like that, because why waste the electricity on a stove, and why waste your health on a stove? Because your best bet is to eat your foods raw, and that way you get all your nutrient density from your foods. You don't really lose anything. Right here is some birch. I save money by making my own teas. This is birch, and I cut it up and make tea out of that. There's a lot of herbs and trees and things in the garden like pine needles that I make teas from. So that's free, other than the water, which is also free because we're on a well. I recycle these containers. When they're empty, I use my herbs and dry them and then make my own Italian mix. So I have my own Italian seasoning mix, which is pretty much just the cost of the plant, which is almost nothing because I save my seeds and reuse them. As far as other teas, this is Rooibos tea. Now I did purchase this, but when you buy a whole pound of it, it's not much more than the price of buying 2 boxes of tea in tea bags. So this is a tea ball, and I just use this for my tea, which is pretty awesome because, I mean, it's so cheap. There's no reason to buy all the tea that you don't need to buy in tea bags, and a lot of waste, packaging waste too. So organic black tea, buy that in bulk. I mean, it's so cheap to buy in bulk, and you can afford to buy organic then because you're not spending all the money on tea bags. This is just a piece of reused cellophane. Now I do have scruples with cellophane. I reuse it here at home all the time myself. When I go to a potluck, I use new ones because I think it's kind of cheesy even for me to do that. But at home I reuse this all the time. Why not? And here's some herbs that I get from the yard that I just keep and use for tea. Come on in here. Greens are expensive, and microgreens are really high in nutrition. So these are my microgreens, which I actually let the lid close too long on them and forgot about them because I hadn't been in the laundry room for a while. And I kind of let them get moldy, so I have a feeling these are going to be composted. And now that the frost is gone, I have some plants started here that are going to go out in the yard. As far as my dryer, I don't use the dryer. There's no reason to ever use a dryer because it takes up a lot of electricity and there's no need to use it. Because you can use something like this. And this is what I dry my clothes on. I also use the clothesline outside, and I have a closed tree outside that I bought when we first moved in the house. And also, these come from my neighbors. And check out this here. I have bunches of these containers. I make my own laundry soap, and literally pennies per load. I recycle these. They're filled with homemade laundry soap, which is beautiful. I'll show you. And it really, literally, it costs maybe $4 to make 10 gallons. And people don't believe this, but it's true. And people usually spend about 15 or 16 bucks on something like this, maybe 12 at the least. And here's what the laundry soap looks like. And it has a real nice scent. It's very faint, and it's almost free, honestly. If you save your containers, It costs like nothing. And I can afford to give this away to my neighbors and share it with them, which is really cool. Now, as far as composting, as far as garbage, our garbage really costs almost nothing because what we do here, everything, we eat a lot of fruits and veggies. I mean lots. And that all goes in this compost bowl and goes outside. And I'll show you one thing here. Even our kitty cats. See this little girl here?
What's her name?
She's a rescue kitty and she's nervous.
Bye, Patchouli.
Her name's Patchouli. And Patchouli actually is a rescue kitty, so she didn't really cost much either. Or her sister who's sitting over there too now. Because we choose, if we do have pets in the house, we choose to rescue them. We don't really look for a certain breed of cat or dog or anything like that. That just, to me, there's so many unwanted animal or
There's Pumpkin.
I should say some without homes that need homes. Yeah. So why have a breeder make more animals kind of falsely so you can have a particular breed? Love all the animals. I mean, look at this little girl. She was, her mommy died when she was a real young kitten, you know, so now she has a great home with us. And there's Patchouli, and she smelled like motor oil when we got her, and she was all full of fleas. So, and these buckets here, when I make the laundry soap, I get these buckets from a local bakery, and they're free, and they're not in the landfill because I have them, and I have bunches of them. And when I teach people how to make laundry soap, I give them a bucket with it so they can have it to take home. And that way you're reusing. And this is another recycled item here. Reused. Come on out here. Or reused, yeah.
Reused, better
Watch
than recycled.
your step here, Bill.
Okay.
As far as garbage, this is our garbage can, and we have to pay for garbage to be taken away. And we have one little bag that goes in every week. So what we do is with our neighbor, we actually split the garbage bill, and our neighbor who has very little garbage also brings hers over. And then the recycling comes with the garbage that we pay for. So why pay for all the garbage when you have one little bag? Every week we just have one little bag. So I hooked up with a neighbor, and there's even another neighbor that also brings things over sometime when they need to. And I'm going to bring this out to the recycle bin. We'll be right back. So here's my compost, and here's our compost bin. And right now it's really filled with a lot of carbon, which we got from the yard, which we yesterday really worked on the yard pretty good, the garden. So we planted a whole bunch of things. Now that the last frost is gone, finally, we put in our sweet sugar snap peas. And today we're going to put some kale in. It seems kind of late, but we did have frost until really late. So I just add this to here. Now my husband drinks coffee, so his coffee grounds actually go on the shrubs and things that like the acidity. So I don't put my coffee grounds in here. I put he puts his coffee grounds onto the blueberry bushes because we grow blueberries, which we haven't been real happy with because we don't really get enough sun here. And then there's the soil that comes out down below. And that's the soil we use for our garden. And I don't know if there's any other tips I got for you for saving money right now, but I'll let you know if I do. Have a great day. Thanks for watching. If you enjoy this video, subscribe. If you really like it, give me a like. I would appreciate that. And more good things to come. Bye-bye.